I really thank you all for being here. You're in for a real treat. I'm very proud that the Beaufort Branch Library, one of the libraries of the Beaufort County Library System, is a venue for this compelling and evocative exhibit created by the Smithsonian Institute. It is entitled New Harmonies, Celebrating the Roots of American Music. The exhibit is part of the Museum on Main Street, and it is a collaboration between the Smithsonian Institution and the Federated State Humanities Council. And we are one of 12 lucky South Carolina towns that have been awarded a grant by the South Carolina Humanities Council to host this exhibit celebrating American music. I do not want to go on forever, so at this point I'm going to introduce Amanda Brewer, who is the person responsible for putting this whole thing together. She is a reference librarian. She is also an accomplished museum.
We'll get you a grant next.
Walking, talking museum. Musician. Thank you very much, Amanda. I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce the dignitaries.
We this has been 2 years in the making, so to have this day here is amazing, and we want to thank you for joining us. Logistically, the exhibit is in the programming room, which is right to our right. We have directional arrows there for you. We also have live music in our South Carolina room today. We have Vic Varner, B. Quet playing at 2. At 3, we have Kurt Dempsey in his style of gut bucket blues. At 3 and at 4, we also have a bluegrass band called Cross Tune. So you want to stay all afternoon? Thanks to the city, you have 2 hours free parking. So enjoy.
I just paid for mine.
So let me introduce these special people that we have here. On my right, we have Queen Quet, a.k.a. Marquetta Goodwin. She is the founder and also the queen of the Gullah Geechee Nation. You even represent Gullah Geechee all the way to the United Nations, and so that's very important. And today she represents our local music ties to America's roots music. I also have Dr. Randy Akers in his 24th year as the Executive Director of the Humanities Council of South Carolina. It's through his leadership that this entire tour has been put together, and he, I think, helped select Beaufort, so we appreciate your being here today. We also have the Honorable Mayor of the City of Beaufort, Mayor Billy Kaiserling here. We appreciate you opening the arms of the city to allow all of the wonderful visitors to come visit New Harmonies. And representing our library, we have Teresa Dunn. She is the founding member of the Public Library Foundation and also is on our board of trustees for the library. And she's a longtime resident of Hilton Head. She braved the bridge to come today, so we thank you for that. And we also have Bernie Cole, who's the president of our Friends of the Library, and they do a lot of fundraising to make sure that programs like the Smithsonian can come to our library. We just want to thank you for your leadership in making this a priority.
Well, the Friends of the Library number over 1,300 people in this county, and on behalf of all of them, I would like to say we're very proud to be a sponsor of this, and this is probably one of the greatest things we've been involved in the last 31 years. So thank you to you for what you've done.
Well, so without further ado, let's open this exhibit.
Let's do it. Let's do it. They're afraid. Let's come.
Brilliant.
Yay! So our exhibit is officially open. Feel free to browse, and there's instruments to play, there's things to read and interact with, so please join us in the programming room for that. And if you want to start with the music, join us to the left in the South Carolina room. And make a day of it. Enjoy New Harmonies.
And including me, Hunter can interact with me over yonder in the other part of the exhibit. So whichever way Hunter children are going, we're so glad that Hunter to join me today. All right.
Right here.
So we are so glad that New Harmonies is here. And of course, as Amanda said up front, I'm here to give you just a little bit of the connection to our local story and our music here. And of course, we start right at the beginning, because in this area you have the Kusabo, the Yemisi, the Adisto, the Cree, that were all part of our story. And of course, when you travel throughout Beaufort County, you still see many Native American names. Coosaw, Dator, Yemisi itself. And so when we talk about American roots music, you really can't start unless you start at the beginning. But now for my people, not only are we interrelated with many of the indigenous Americans and that later became called Seminoles, but we are Gullah Geechee. So that's why when I made a crack my teeth like this and thing like that, 100 children that look funny, but then 100 understand now, right? So now you understand why I greeted you earlier the way that I did. So that's in our native tongue, which is Gullah Geechee. Now most people, if they were to journey with me, they might hear these songs now in many of our churches, especially at our homegoing services that in America are called funerals, that they would hear the song Thomas Dorsey created that many people around the world now sing. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me on. However, in our country, here in the Gullah Geechee Nation, from Jacksonville, North Kakalaki to Jacksonville, Florida, instead of this just song, on any given Sunday, one of my getting people to sing, walk with me, Lord, walk with me, walk with me, Lord, walk with me, while I on this pilgrim journey. I want Jesus for walk with me. So walk with me, y'all. And be my friend, Lord. Please be my friend. Be my friend, Lord. Please be my friend. While I on this tedious journey, I want Jesus for walk with me. And when you get in a song like that and thing like that, all through South Kakalaki, and I have to give credit to these y'all and the thing. What we did upon now, plenty of time when people that did in Beaufort, then the things that they did upon the mainland, ain't no such a thing. They shut at the island of Port Royal. Well, plenty of time when Hunter the going through these just stack in the library, Hunter could have pulled out some book and thing from what they call the Port Royal experiment. Well, when Hunter get him a Port Royal, they're going to talk about all of this here. They're going to talk about the town of Port Royal. They're going to talk about Ladies Island, Centennial Island, where made a deer from. So out of the soil of these just sea island sand, Hunter would have get these song, what Hunter now know called it spiritual. And so here in South Carolina, we have a law. The South Carolina General Assembly back in 1999 declared the official music of our entire state the spirituals. And I'm so proud to be able to be part of this exhibition and represent those spirituals. And just give y'all a little taste or something. Because see, next Tuesday I'm going to really do the big thing in the other room. All right? But to just give y'all a little taste of what we do in the Gullah Geechee Nation. Because the spirituals are our songs. Our ancestors created them in the bush arbor and the brush arbor and places where they gathered before the praise house and before the church. Now many of you have only gotten to hear the spirituals as they evolved and they became known as where many of you wanted to stop and stay. Gospel music, all right? But then as the gospel went out around the world, sometimes the stories weren't always good. They weren't always the uplifting shout songs like this. Sometimes they were sad, like sometimes I feel like a motorless child so far away. Oh, a long way from home. What else could my people, my ancestors feel when working in the field? And of course, many of you know that this area became what it is, not only because of the black gold, the black cargo, which is what they call the African people, but also Sea Island cotton. Long staple Sea Island cotton and Carolina gold rice. Now, Hunter Chiller can't come down getting a nam from rice and things like that. There's something wrong with that. Okay then. So now, so you don't come to this town and don't eat rice. There's something wrong, all right? So you go in a restaurant, you make sure you get some rice, all right? But also indigo. So those three major cash crops that built the infrastructure of this region could not have been amassed without the knowledge, the spirit that came out of these fields. Henceforth, what other kind of music could we produce but the spirituals? But then when many of our people were walked over to the western part of the country and ended up in Mississippi, ended up in Louisiana, ended up in Texas, they couldn't just sing their shouting songs no more. They had a lot more of the blues to sing. And so you had some of those ladies, though, that in those juke joints, and later became what y'all, spruced it up a bit and called the nightclub, were able to get fancy enough where they could show off some of what they had amassed in the big city, where they had done left the country behind, like Ma Rainey. But I love what she had to say about the blues. She said that either way you look at it, that blues ain't nothing but a bad woman feeling good. But somebody else has said, well, you know what? Blues ain't nothing but a good woman feeling bad. All right.
Here we go again. Y'all sounded good. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. That's it. In your pocket, not one penny. As for friends, I don't have any. When I finally get back on my feet again, everybody wants to be my long lost friend. Sad, it's mighty strange without any doubt. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Way down and out.
I want to my Lord.